type of top coats that I had at my disposal when I was a full-time nail tech in the salon are way different than the options that you have now. The options are many, they're bountiful now. So I thought, hey, what better thing to do today than talk about top coats? Hey there and welcome back. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Paola and I help you master all of your gel nail services using soft gel only. If you would like to continue growing with me, then do consider subscribing. I have here every single top gel that I own, and we are going to be breaking them down into 5 categories. So even though I have like 20 or so here and it looks kind of intimidating, I've actually grouped them in 5 categories so that you can decide what it is that you need for your nail services, or most importantly, so that you can understand why is there such variation in top gels. So first things first, good old wipe required top gel. So this is a top coat that when you apply it, it's going to leave a tacky residue and you're going to have to wipe that down with alcohol. So I want to say that when I started in the nail industry back in 2013, your only option of top coat was one with a tacky residue. And if you were going to use a non-wipe top gel, then that top coat most likely was going to be a hard top gel, which was an issue for us soft gel specialists because we couldn't rely on a non-wipe top coat because soft gel, the only option that I knew existed was like a gel polish. So like a more thin viscosity gel, very flexible. And so if you put a hard top coat on top of that, then it was going to flex a little too much and crack. So that was the problem. I must tell you that top coats have grown way beyond that. The ingenuity behind them is just next level. This is why I thought this video was necessary. So yes, a wipe required top coat was all that was available to us soft gel specialists back like 8 years ago. Good news, that's no longer the issue. And even if your top coat is a wipe required top coat, so one that leaves a tacky residue behind, that doesn't mean that you are like living in the old age or anything like that. I actually still prefer to have a wipe required top coat in my little arsenal of gels. So what is it beneficial for? I like to use those kind of top coats when I have to work on nails that require like glitters or foil flakes or anything like that that's kind of light medium on top of the nails, not like a true encapsulation. So your top coat is going to leave an inhibition layer and then you're going to use that to pat down some glitter and some flakes, and then you're going to coat that again with your wipe required top gel and then a non-wipe top coat of your choosing, and then be done. So it makes the process really easy without having to use another like thick gel over that, and you've got yourself an encapsulation in like 5 minutes for a full set. So that's the beauty of that. As far as what I own, I have Glossy Top Gel by Leafgel Premium. I have Glassy Top Coat by Nail Thoughts, and I have Gloss Top Coat by Biosculpture. In order of viscosity, it's probably going to be Glossy, and then the Gloss Top Coat by Biosculpture, and then the Glassy Top Coat is going to be your thicker viscosity top gel. A wipe requiring top gel is going to be flexible, so it's not going to crack on you. And some of the times it can also last shinier than a non-wipe. So again, there's a home for them. I wouldn't say they're completely out of style or there's no use for them. Again, you can use that tacky layer advantageously. Now let's talk about a non-wipe top gel. So again, as I mentioned earlier, back in the day, like if you wanted a non-wipe top coat, it usually was going to be a hard gel non-wipe top coat, and that was going to be an issue for, again, a soft gel specialist because that could potentially crack, and most often it did. But what do you know? Now we have so many different formulations among non-wipe top coat, because what manufacturers were understanding was that nail techs want to live a simplified business life. And so if we had to spend the extra time and product to wipe off the inhibition layer, then not only were we adding service time, but we were also adding costs to our service because we have to use the alcohol and we have to use the wipes to wipe that residue off. Advanced technology in gel has taken note, and they have made our non-wipe dreams a reality. All right, let me tell you what I started off with in the industry as far as like non-wipe top and why I still like it. But keep in mind that I do keep a little toolkit of top coats because as a professional, one that has experience and knowledge with different like strengths, whether it's in the natural nail or the products, I can go ahead and sort of like prescribe the correct top coat to the finish. I will tell you, do not get so bogged down by having all of the top coats and then trying to treat everything like a prescription, okay? I use that term loosely because truly there's always going to be like your go-to bundle of base, builder, and top coat that you're going to use like on 90% of your clients, and then like 10% is going to vary within the top coats that you use. Now, if I was in a salon environment, I don't think I would have all of these top coats, to be honest. I think I have this many top coats because I am an educator and a content creator, and so I always want to have an option and solutions and variety in what I do a little bit. And that's why I think I have all these tops. So this is Leafgel's non-wipe top gel. Okay, it is very thin. Surprisingly, I've never had any issues with it cracking. So it's non-wipe and it's very thin. So that should trigger your mind like, ooh, that has the potential to break. This product here is, to me, ingenuity, because with those factors in mind of like, ooh, thin and, you know, non-wipe, it could crack. It doesn't. It doesn't. Now, it's super, super thin, which means that it's going to enhance the look of any imperfection on the nail. If there is a bump, if there's a lint piece, if there is nail art that's not self-leveled, is going to enhance that. Non-wipe top gel 2 by Leafgel Premium is a tool in your little arsenal of finishing gels, top gels. So do consider investing in this, especially if you do a lot of nail art. If you're just a single color, sort of like nail tech, you do a lot of clients with just one single color, I would say you don't need this, so you can definitely skip. So what's like my go-to? This one here. And this is also ingenuity in a bottle. Why? Because Kokoist managed to develop a non-wipe top gel that works on soft gel, semi-hard gel, hard gel, and acrylic that is soft gel, but yet also non-wipe. Amazing. And this is probably most likely the reason why such a top coat is an award-winning in Japan and also a finalist here in competitions in the US. So the viscosity of this is a little bit of medium, and that means that if you have tiny imperfections, you will be able to fix those with this viscosity gel. Now, I will say that any top coat that you use, you should not apply really thick unless that is natural viscosity. Then yes, you are obviously going to naturally apply it with some viscosity, but top coats are not supposed to be applied thick because they can dull or not cure as shiny as they're intended to. All right, my, I would say third go-to or very third special top coat is the Presto No Wipe Top Gel. Why? Well, this is another top gel that, if I am not mistaken, is hard gel, but it cures, it's very flexible. It will not crack on you. And it is a secret weapon for your chrome applications, as it will allow you to burnish the gel right on top of this and also seal it with just this top coat. Super game changer. This is definitely something I would not bypass not having in my gel nail toolkit, because even if you do simple nail art, I will say that most clients will always want a chrome, or you will be inclined to apply a chrome and you may have issues with something else. This right here is going to cause you zero issues. It's just tried and true, especially for that purpose. Leafgel Premium's non-wipe hard top gel. This is called Brilliant. So this is also a hard gel base. So if you're starting to see a little bit of a thread here, is that there is a little bit of hard gel being developed into top coats, because hard gel is actually very shiny, very, very shiny. So the more hard gel component your top coat is, the shinier it has the potential to shine, assuming everything has been manufactured well. And the beauty of this top coat is that if you know Leafgel, you know that Leafgel is a soak-off gel system. In fact, everything that I'm using here is a soak-off gel nail system, because that is our specialty here in my channel, in my business, and everything that I've done for the last 10 years. So this is hard gel, but it can go on your soft gel. It's been manufactured to work well. And again, you're gonna have a beautiful high shine with a hard finish. So if you just need a little bit of strength and you need to stabilize that enhancement, putting a hard top gel on that is going to be wonderful. Now I want you to remember that your strength is not coming from top coats. Your strength should have already been developed from your base coat application or your builder gel application. Your top coats are just going to reinforce the work that you've already done on those overlays. I think this is something that you should definitely stock up, have in your toolkit for those clients that are going to require a little more strength than these products here. And if it's in a bottle, you're gonna keep the application thin. We will be talking about potted top gels, and Leafgel has wonderful options in just a moment. Here I have Vetro's N-It non-wipe top gel, and this one here is a smaller size. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be like a sample size or what, but either way, the viscosity of this is more like medium, but it's still flowy. Okay, medium but flowy. And because it does have viscosity, it will help you hide any imperfections of the nail. And the reason why this has a little eye there is because it's supposed to be so shiny that it has a little bit of a watery eyes effect on your nails. If for some reason this is not for you, then you can try this one because they're very similar in viscosity and both are soak off. The next top coat that I have here is by Ready, which is a brand by Ready Wanna. And this is a top coat that is non-wipe. Again, it's a little bit more hard gel, but still flexible to go on soft gel. And this top coat has solvents, so that's going to make it easy to be broken down in acetone. Okay, so if you're using like just gel polish, like actual polish like gel, this can be a good finishing touch, but you can also use this on many different applications, whether that's soft, semi-hard, hard gel, and even acrylic. So very universal top gel. So that was our non-wipe selection. As you can see, it has grown by leaps and bounds from going from something very thin to literally being able to put hard gel from a bottle onto our soft gel overlay application. All right, so with that, let's move on to our next category, which would be matte top coats. I'm just gonna say this about matte top gels. If you as a company are still manufacturing matte top gel that needs to be wiped, so it leaves a tacky layer behind, so a wipe requiring matte top gel, it's gonna die on the vine because nail techs just don't have the time to fuss around with wiping a matte top coat and then discovering that it's not coming out matte exactly. So please, 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 if you're a nail tech, don't even bother with a wipe require matte top coat. Honestly, let that die on the vine. If someone has manufactured that, like, we want matte nails after they've come out of the lamp, and we don't want to touch them if we don't have to. Sometimes obviously we have to apply that cuticle oil or some sort of moisturizer after the nails have been finished. But yeah, we don't want to do that because we don't want to mess up that matte effect. So I think most companies have understood that, and they have developed matte top gels that are only non-wipe. Let's take a look at what I have here. So here I have Velvet Matte Non-Wipe Top Coat by Kokoist, and I have a specialty matte top coat by Biosculpture, which is the Rose Quartz Matte Top Coat. I actually use this one on my nails for this, and it's been like 3 weeks going on 4 weeks. So you tell me, I mean, how this looks as far as like the wear period goes, right? It's still matte. I would say it's still matte. In the early days of matte top gel, matte didn't used to stay matte. It used to go into a little bit of a satin or almost kind of low gloss finish. But I would say that after 3 to 4 weeks and like really doing all the things around the house with these, they are still matte and they still have the little glitter flakes. Some have gone a little silver, but I would say overall, it's held up well. So do highly recommend. Now, Why would you want to top with glitter or anything like that? If you are a premium price nail tech who offers specialty premium services, having fun options like this for your clients can be game changer, and you will be surprised. These are the little things that have clients like cling on to you and saying, you know what, I can't go anywhere. There's no one investing in these kind of things. So definitely a plus for your business. Keep in mind that Biosculpture is a licensed only brand. So if you're in the US, you will have to provide a license to buy Biosculpture. But I can't say enough good things about them. It's the brand that I started with, and I still use once in a while. I will say I'm more exclusive now to Japanese gel just to keep things easier when I'm teaching. But all right, so what I have here is the Kokoist Velvet Matte Non-Wipe. These usually matte top coats tend to be thin viscosity, kind of like that Leafgel Non-Wipe Top Gel. Now, I also have to say this about matte top coats. I don't know why, but they sort of burn when you're curing them. Like, even though they're thin viscosity, they just kind of burn. That was the case with this. Even after my overlay, I don't know. I can tell you, I'm not a scientist. I study a little bit of the science, but I don't know why ingredients do that. But I think both kind of have a little burn to it, and this was surprisingly a lot more. So just make sure that you're using your low heat setting when applying your matte top coat. If it's a kind that maybe polymerizes a little too fast in the curing unit, and that's why it's causing that heat, okay? Use your low heat setting. Test them obviously first on yourself to see if it does sort of give you a little bit of a heat spike, and then if you confirm that they do, then go ahead and set that low heat setting for your clients so that they're not shocked and think you're offering or you're doing something cheap or bad on their nails. All right, so matte top gel, when do you use this? Well, it has become very popular to use a matte top gel when you are doing isolated chrome applications, and that's cool, except Leafgel Premium has developed a matte top gel for that specific purpose, and it's called the Non-Wipe Semi-Matte Powder Block Top Gel. I know they like to go kind of long with these names, right? Powder Block is a chrome, isolating chrome gel. You would apply this, draw your chrome on it, burnish your chrome on where you've put the burnishing gel on, and this should keep things nice and isolated so that you do not have chrome pigment where you don't want it to. So this is pretty cool. I haven't confirmed if this can be used as a matte top gel. I almost feel like just wearing it myself and finding out, right? Because even if they say no, maybe it would still work. Matte top gels do not vary in viscosity. They're going to be thin, okay? So just keep that in mind, that you want to make sure that your strength is formed with your base gel, your overlay gel, like your builder gel, and that your matte top gel, you're not depending on it for strength. The next category of top coats is actually specialty top coats. So top coats that are going to allow you to add a little extra something to the nails, or they help you in creating nail art. Let's take a look of my collection of specialty top gels. Some of these are actually going to overlap, so meaning that you've already seen some of these options. So how about that powder block from Leafgel Premium? And obviously the Biosculpture Rose Quartz Matte. So these are top coats that are not just shiny and are not just matte. Like, they're matte plus something, or they're shiny plus something else. So they have another effect going on. So you've already learned about the Biosculpture Rose Quartz Matte. We talked about this one, but take a look at what's left here. We have Ultra Rainbow Non-Wipe Top Coat by Kokoist, Ultra Diamond Non-Wipe Top Coat by Kokoist, Nail Dots by Kokoist, but this is the Flash Top Coat. And then we have the Presto No Wipe Art Liner Clear. Let's talk about these two here, and then we'll move on to the rest. So these are glitter top coats. What client doesn't like glitter top coat, right? And again, you're gonna have to decide if you are going to be charging extra for these, or if you're just a premium price nail tech already. I don't know. I think I would not charge extra for these top coats. This is something included as part of the service. It's an option. And here's the thing, when you start charging for things, things might start sitting on your shelves. So it's just better to always be, in my opinion, premium price, but then have like treats and delights like glitter top coat for your clients that just validates why they keep coming back to you and paying your prices. So again, I don't like to be the nail tech that's like $3 for that, $5 for this. Like it really has to be something that's worth $10 or more in order for me to want to charge extra for it. If I gather that the value of what I'm doing is worth less than $10 and it's again a treat or delight, I'm gonna go for it, because again, that's just going to validate my clients' feelings about why they continue to come back to me. And that for me is priceless. It's not worth $3 and $5 in my shelves just sitting on my shelf and spoiling. All right, so this one is the Ultra Rainbow. So it's literally like a iridescent pink. Beautiful, beautiful. I mean, a touch to any nail service. And again, the beauty of this is that you apply it and you're done. You are not spending extra time on that, which is another reason why I probably wouldn't charge extra, because it's not really adding time. I wouldn't stock up on all of the different fun top coats, but I mean, having these two or any other two that you would like, I mean, could be game changer, because your client is now like super excited about their nails. And again, it's that treating and delighting your client that's priceless to me. This one is just a silver glitter, and both of these are very fine glitter, so they are not going to take over the nails. Like it's not like chunky glitter like this is not bad. But if your client is intimidated by adding things to their nails, this is so low commitment. The viscosity of these is low also, so do not expect to correct with these top coats. They will not hide any imperfections, so make sure that your overlays are nice and smooth. Next up, I haven't tried this, I guess because I personally am not a fan of the flash nail trend. I feel like it comes in trend like around the fall, by the way, so maybe that's when I would give it a shot. And it's basically like a also fine glitter, but it has a component to it, I don't know if it's in the glitter or in the gel, that when you literally turn your flash camera on, they just pop. This glitter just pops. It's like this silver glitter that now you can see where before you couldn't see during the day. My only concern, I haven't tried it, is that it's going to not dull, but hide my color. So if I chose a pretty color, I'm just concerned that because there are so many particles in there that it's just going to, you know, hide or disguise the color that I'm wearing. And if I chose a pretty color underneath, then I'm going to be bummed if I can't see it other than when I take a flash picture of it, if that makes any sense. Next up, we have the Presto No Wipe Art liner in clear. And so this one is pretty cool because you can literally create like 3D accents on the nail, and it's non-wipe and it's done. But maybe you wanted to burnish over them. The other time you can use this gel is when you are tracing over something. So if you created, let's just say, a nail art, and then you want to trace over it only where you've drawn or placed something, then you're going to use this, right? Because it's going to just allow you to trace it with such a thin brush versus trying to trace it with this, right? This is going to be a thicker brush, and you can trace that nail piece or area with a little thicker brush like this. A little liner bottle like this can definitely make things easier. So the next top coat that we have, it's actually quite a treat. It's one of my favorite things, even though I must say, when you are doing your service and you're on a little bit of a time crunch, it's not the most convenient thing to use because it does take a little bit of time. However, I do encourage everyone to have or invest in some form of potted top gel. Anything that a company manufactures for you and it's in a pot is going to be their higher caliber, their highest caliber product. All right. So I hate to break it down to you, but sometimes when we're using bottles are actually, I don't want to say lower grade, but they don't use all of the expensive stuff. What I mean by that is that a ligament is the main component of a quality formula. And if we're adding a lot more to that, so monomers, some solvents, whatever it may be, additives of any kind, then we're starting to dilute that big, thick, gooey raw material. And so we start using less of that a ligament, which is going to be like the more pricier component in your gel. And then we end up with bottle gel. So bottle gel in essence is a dilution of potted gel. So whether that's hard or soft gel, but especially like in a soft gel. So for me, potted top coats are a treat. A treat. They do take a little bit of time. They do take a little bit of practice. You can definitely thicken the nails in an unpleasant way when you don't know how to use a potted top gel. So I don't blame anyone that's kind of like still within like bottled use and is afraid to switch over to a potted top coat. But why should you move on to a potted top coat? Well, the viscosity of those potted top coats is going to be higher. And that viscosity is also going to translate to strength. So if I'm overlaying some short to medium length nails and they can use a little extra strength, then I'm gonna probably use a potted top coat. All right. I still want to get all of my strength for my overlays with my base and my build, but this is a treat. So there are different niches you can go into the industry, especially like as a soft gel specialist. It could be potted soft gel. It could be natural nail growth. It could be based on length, short to medium length only. But if you've gone into a niche of like potted soft gel only or potted manicures, if you finish your gel nails with a potted top, again, you're adding a level of prestige to your service, and they do cost a little bit more. But nowadays, you're also getting really fun with it. Enter Kokoist non-wipe jelly top, which we will be talking about in just a moment. But potted top coats also come in varying viscosities and different purposes. A brand like Leafgel, they're like the only company that develops like various top coats. Actually, now that I think about it, I just took a certification with Ready by Ready Wanna. She actually has various top coats too, a couple. I want to say 4. So for me, that just tells me someone that's like understands that there are different ways you can finish a nail, whether that's based on strength or the thickness that you want to add or don't want to add. And then also nail art, like specialty nail art top gels. So with Leafgel, they also have this Supreme one, which is also hard gel, and it's going to be a little thicker than the one in the bottle. The reason why things are in a pot is because they have a high oligomer concentration, which means that they're going to be more viscous because it's more of that raw material stuff, and it doesn't dispense easily from a bottle. But here's like its counterpart there. It's supposedly like the same thing, but this should be thinner. So again, if you want more strength, you would use your potted top gel, that version of it. And then also, if that's your specialty, potted gel manicures or potted soft gel manicures, again, you're going to delight your clients when you work with all your little pots. Those details matters. They can be the difference between charging $75 for a manicure or maybe $170 like one of my students does. Let's take a look at what I have here. So here I have the non-wipe hard top gel Supreme by Leafgel, and the viscosity of this is high, so it does not flow super easily. Now, when you have a potted top gel that is this viscosity, what you want to do is actually apply it on all 5 fingers. If you can work with that thumb being on the side, or come back to the thumb as a last nail, because you want to give it time to self-level. Please do not do one nail at a time when you are working with a thicker viscosity top coat. So again, more strength, and this is actually hard gel, so it will stabilize the soft gel nail. So if you've gone a little longer and your client only was wearing one color, then this would be a great option, because if they were wearing like all of this nail art, the last thing you want to do is add a thick viscosity top gel, unless you need it for an encapsulation within that nail art. But I find that once I've done a lot of nail art and layers, I don't want to do this. I probably want to do something like this, or again, something like that with a little viscosity if I need it. This one doesn't have viscosity, don't forget. All right, so this is one of the newest release from Kokoist, and I just like the name there, Jelly Top. And it's also high viscosity. I want to say It's similar to this viscosity here. So as far as I know, this is soak off gel. Even though it might be a little semi-hard, it's still soak off gel. Falls under that soft gel category. And this is going to be great for adding textured nail art or encapsulating things also. Now keep in mind that when we are encapsulating with our soft gel, it's not like hard gel. You're not grabbing this big old dollop and, you know, putting that over the nails, because things can get thicker and even a little hotter. So that is it. Those were my 5 categories of top coats. As you can see, they all have a purpose. Your goal as the gel nail specialist is to determine what does your client need when you are finishing their nails. I will say that for the most part, you will have a universal choice. If I had to tell you what would be the universal choice for me, my go-to every single time, it would probably be somewhere around here, unless I made potted soft gel only tech, then, or potted gel nail tech, then Perfect Shine by Leafgel if I was a potted gel nail stylist only. But otherwise, I think these are my current go-tos here. If you're interested in learning more about all gel nails so that no trendy name ever takes you by surprise, then make sure you get my free ebook, which is linked down in the description box below. And I have big news for you. If you've been wanting to get into our Master Gel Nails course, well, guess what? Surely we will be starting the waitlist for our group class event, where is the time you get to complete the course or start the course if you are going to be a new enrollee or you haven't started the course, and we go together as a class. You go through the program lesson by lesson, start implementing. We meet for a review session, and then you have a portfolio assignment that you have to complete within a week. Submit it to me. I will look at it, give you detailed feedback, and you also get a printed certificate for completing that course. This course is on soft gel only, premium soft gel, so carefully curated and manufactured brands. If you're interested, sign up to the waitlist down below. That will put you on the waitlist to receive more notifications or more updates on the Master Gel Nails course group class event. I hope you can join us. I'll see you in the next video.